In one word.
The first time I was on my way to Helsinki, I had some expectations. All of them were negative. As I was about to land in Vantaa Airport, the warnings looped in my head. It's extremely cold. No one has time for you there. You will be lonely. Come on, man. You think your days there will be like the ones you had in Stockholm or Copenhagen? Even Oslo is more alive than Helsinki. Finland isn't even part of Scandinavia you're researching. My enthusiasm was bottoming out, but I was on my way to Helsinki only in my imagination. I changed my mind. I said exactly where I was, in Amsterdam. The second time I was on my way to Helsinki, I was no longer in my imagination. I was actually on the flight, which is where I met Mumi for the first time. Despite the stark contrast to my expectations, with every day I spent in Finland, I found myself captivated by the Finnish experiment. I was simultaneously inspired, yet tinged with a hint of disappointment. Through this series, I embark on a journey to heal that disappointment and uncover the transformative essence that beacons within Finland's remarkable story. You see, my initial encounter with Finland didn't unfold amidst the blossoming of spring, with the sunny days, warmth, and endless light you're seeing right now. It began in the depths of winter, a realm of biting cold and pervasive darkness. If you want to know the what behind why Finland is such a unique chapter in our human story, I'll share things that will surprise even the Finns themselves. If you want to know the why, here's a quick slice as an appetizer. Behind every bright aspect of the Finnish story, there is a seed sown by a group of Finns not so long ago. That group knew exactly what they were doing. They weren't just scattering seeds randomly. I want us to look closely to those seeds. When were they planted? And how were they nurtured through the years to yield what the Finns enjoy today? Because the Finnish nation is located on the line between myth and reality. We're talking about a country that has become one of the wealthiest on the planet, offering a quality of life the most of the world can only dream of. But here's the thing. Finns are so notoriously modest about their accomplishments. They don't see themselves as anything special. If it weren't for us non-Finns spreading the word, we wouldn't even have known this gem of a nation existed. It takes an outsider with a true appreciation for success to give credit where it's due. It takes someone positioned to genuinely admire the staggering level of achievement this country has reached. And obviously, that person is not me. At least, not yet. We need to go back in time to 2010 when the Clinton Global Initiative Conference was taking place. We had over 1,000 people from 90 countries were coming together to brainstorm ideas on how to make this world a better place for everyone. And the big man himself, President Clinton, was there to set the tone. Just like you and me, he wanted to know what it takes to be successful in the 21st century. The people we had there were full of answers. Heavy hitters like Melinda Gates, Eric Schmidt, and Bob McDonald. But this lady was the one who caught President Clinton's attention. With all eyes on her, he turned to that woman right next to him. This woman heads a country that consistently finishes in the top 5 in all global rankings.
In all global rankings of the quality of education, the way the economy works, the distribution of wealth and opportunity.
Then he asked
now, how do we decide what government should do, what the private sector should do, how to design a tax system, how to design our relationships with the rest of the world, how to define our obligations to poorer countries. How do you run your business? How would you advise all these people
to go back home and start?
I like him.
And let me tell you, that lady knows what's up. She's been there, done that, and has the t-shirt to prove it. And boy, did she deliver some straight-fire answers. It was a moment. So who was she? Turns out, she was none other than Tarja Halonen, the president of the Republic of Finland.
Her
name was mispronounced left and right during the conference.
Tarja Hallinan.
And even by the late host Conan O'Brien, who, let's be real, looks like the male American version of her.
Tarja Hallinan.
But here's the kicker. If you came back to the present day in 2026 and asked yourself, where is Tarja Hallinan now? And what happened to her? Madam President, so good to see you.
Very nice. Please, please sit down.
Where have you been and where did you disappear after you left office? Brace yourself, because it's gonna blow your mind. I was completely shocked to find out. But before we can even begin to understand how the Finns got to where they are, or how they managed to captivate a US president completely, we gotta know what exactly they have achieved. And more importantly, how did they get there? And why does it matter to us? To you and me. Considering where Finland actually started, I wonder how you would describe its story. Personally, I was so blown away by it I started using fancy words like a miracle. And I'm really happy that there is a great guy who shares my views, also uses fancy words like miracle, and he's got a good definition of what a miracle is. Let's check that out. Here it is. His book is The Finnish Miracle, Mr. Andri Shakir. I hope my Finnish teacher is not watching.
I am actually watching.
Tässä kirjassa ihme on jätuken epätavallista tai epätodennäköistä, joka vanuttaa uskoamme siitä, mikä on mahdollista. I hope I said that correctly.
That was actually pretty good. I got Ayman finished.
Thank you for that. It reminds me of a taxi drive I took with former Prime Minister of Sweden, Mr. Reinfeldt. We were giving a keynote speech at the same event in Kuopio, which is northeastern Finland, and I gave him my book in the taxi. We were going from the same hotel to the same place, obviously. Here's my book, The Finnish Miracle, and he goes, "Yeah. Well, you know that we're very good at things, also, you know." And then I said, "You're right, absolutely." However, when you take a look back, because it's always good to look at, the past to understand where you want to go. 150 years, this country had a very interesting situation where every sixth Finn died of hunger.
And I'm not talking about any ordinary success. I'm talking about being ranked the fourth most competitive economy in the world, and then casually moving up to number 3 spot like it's nothing. Or how about the fact that Finland is a global top 4 powerhouse for work-life balance? That's some next level stuff right there. You never hear about these achievements in the news. It's like they're keeping it completely on the down low. So here's some breaking news for you. Even if most people still struggle to find it on a map, Finland is officially one of the EU's top 4 innovation leaders. And let me tell you, that is a massive deal. Another important testimony came as a result of a massive survey. They were trying to answer one question. If you were born today, which country would give you the best shot at living a healthy, safe, prosperous, and upwardly mobile life? They compared 100 different countries across all these metrics. And when the dust settled, guess who came out on top? The United States! The United States of America didn't even make it to the top 10. Ayman is sad the US didn't top the list. Can you believe that, folks? No wonder. He's a big fan. Not now. Tell them what Ed Miliband said. Miliband straight up said, for centuries the United States had been the go-to country for anyone trying to live the American dream and move up in the world. No longer. That's right. He's calling out the US and saying that if you want the American dream, you gotta go to... read her lips.
Suomi.
Swami?
Suomi.
Swami.
Suomi.
Why you are complicating things? The country that came on top, it was freaking Finland, man. Finland was declared the best country in the world for someone who's just starting their life in the 21st century. Finland has been killing it when it comes to giving its people the best shot at a healthy, safe, and prosperous life. So let's take a page out of Finland's book and start working towards the same level of success. And that's the reason, one of the reasons, why I'm doing this. I began studying the Nordic countries to gain a deeper understanding of how they operate. And I'm confident that the insights I'll share with you throughout this series will inspire you to improve your life and, perhaps, if you want, your country as well. So we have 3 chapters, plus 2 chapters, plus another 2 special chapters. 3 chapters on the real Scandinavians, that is Sweden, Denmark, and Norway. 2 chapters on Iceland and Finland. You are watching right now the first episode of Finland's chapter, plus 2 chapters on the Netherlands and Switzerland. You will know later why these countries and why they are important for you, and you might be encountering something that could be very, very valuable. And then we do an unexpected finale. I didn't even mention Finland with its Scandinavian sisters, and you wanna know why? Because Finland is so different from the rest of the Scandinavian countries and the world. That's like an alien country that's fallen from outer space. Finland may not be geographically part of Scandinavia, but it's got its own unique identity that is just as fascinating. There is a lot to learn from this alien country. I'm also doing this for the Finns to keep the energy up. I don't want to go further without first handle this little issue. Yeah, I think there's an elephant in the room.
Finland.
Forget the Loch Ness monster. The real question is, does Finland even exist?
Doesn't actually exist.
That's right.
Thanks to the conspiracy theorists out there who are circulating the idea that Finland doesn't exist and bringing so much entertainment into my life. The theory goes like this. During the Cold War in the mid-20th century, Japan and the former Soviet Union shared a secret that there is a stretch of the Baltic Sea between the Soviet Union and Sweden, and it was full of good fishing spots that they wanted to keep for themselves. So the 2 countries, Japan and the Soviet Union, came up with an idea. The idea was that in that part of the world, there is no sea, it is just landmass, and they wanted to give it a name. The name was inspired when a Saki-bombed Japanese general was watching a French movie with a bad Japanese subtitles. He saw the ending card with the word fin, which means the end in French. Eureka! Fin landmass. Fin land. And boom! A country was born. And the aim of all of that was to keep the good fishing spots for themselves. The Japanese would be free to fish as much as they liked without worrying about international laws, as long as the Soviet Union got its fair share. What about Finns? Do they exist? Oh, they're real right. Just scattered between Estonia, Sweden, and Russia. Don't ask. What about pilots? They're in on it too. Either a fat stack of euros or a one-way ticket to Siberia. Tough choice. If Finland doesn't exist, then where am I? I needed to talk to one of our super rational friends who has been addressing the most of conspiracy theories out there and never once addressed the one on Finland being a mere hoax. So Michael, you didn't mention that in your book. Does this mean that it's true?
No, sorry. My book was limited to actually rational type conspiracy theories. The most extreme version, I suppose, would be something like QAnon, Pizzagate. Some of the wilder ones, false flag operations, 9/11 is an inside job. Obama wasn't born in the United States. JFK was assassinated by the CIA. That's about as extreme as I get. Because they're at least plausible, and therefore they can be addressed with arguments and reason and evidence, one way or the other. And because some conspiracy theories are true, I acknowledge that one reason people believe them is because enough of them are true that it pays to believe more of them are true than actually are, just in case. That is to say, as they like to joke, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. Now, there are some more extreme ones, like the royal family of England are actually alien lizards. You know, I barely even briefly mentioned that, only to say this is so ridiculous it doesn't even need to be addressed. Or the flat earthers, something like that. So I would put Finland, as doesn't even exist, is even further than that on the extreme spectrum. I mean, Finland, first of all, the land itself is there. You can see it in satellite photographs. And the fact that, Putin certainly knows that Finland exists as a country and that there's a border there. In terms of relationships with NATO and all the other countries, well, if it didn't exist, then what are we talking about when all those stories are on the news? And what happens when you actually go to the border and, and cross over, and where are you going to? Right. So I think, sometimes people present these kinds of conspiracy theories probably more as entertainment than to be taken seriously, although I suppose some people actually believe it. But I think mostly it's more of a kind of a stand-in or a proxy for something else. Whether it's true or not is beside the point. Of course, it's not true.
So the real reason they wanted you to think Finland is a hoax is that they wanted us to be convinced that Finland doesn't exist because they feel embarrassed about its existence. They don't want you to know the truth because they're jealous of all the saunas.
Finland actually exists.
A welfare society where there is high income and wealth, great governance and freedoms, subjective well-being and healthy life expectancy, quality and fairness, social connections and civic engagement, work and job quality, education and a place where you get profound knowledge and skills, security and housing. And there is another reason why you don't hear much about a country that we must hear enough about. A reason that would sound like it's coming from a science fiction movie. Wait for it. It's impossible! I dislike that word when I hear it as a response to something I wish for. This ugly word should turn anybody into Tom Cruise. I landed at Vantaa Airport feeling relaxed about my business in Helsinki and accepted a few investor invitations to some local business events. As a tourist, I attended with no intention of interacting or engaging in any extra business. I just wanted to check out the entrepreneurial scene in this part of the world. However, there is always a however in my life. There was one event I won't forget, and you might not either, if you can really understand what happened there. We'll try. That's where I met a person who changed the way I'm experiencing life daily, for now and for, listen carefully, for thousands of years to come. You wouldn't believe it, and feel free to believe it, but it's far-fetched. It would be even harder to consider it. But guess what was the only thing on my mind that I actually cared about? It was seeing the northern lights. But when I asked some Finnish friends about those lights, they hit me with the truth. It's impossible! It's impossible! It's forever cloudy at this time of the year, and it's not just gonna happen. And that's when I first experienced the Finnish mentality. For Finns, there is no wishful thinking whatsoever. If there is even a tiny chance something won't happen, then it just won't. If you know me well, you know that a word like impossible won't stop me. And I hope it doesn't stop you either. I kept my eyes peeled for those lights and I did what I do best. I walked. I walked into what I expected to be an empty city. I thought that city would be less busy than where I came from, but it wasn't. It was a big day and a long night of celebrating 100 years of independence. So Finland was occupied. Interesting. I kept walking, looking for what I was looking for. One evening, as I was testing my new winter shoes like a little child and trying to remember a lovely sounding Finnish sentence I learned, I saw it, a pale reflection on the thick snow. It was snowing, so looking straight up didn't help to see what that reflection was from. I used my phone to shield my eyes against the snow and looked up through the camera lens. And there it was, exactly what I was looking for. Dancing above heavy clouds, the Nordic lights. What a warm welcome, Helsinki. What a warm welcome. As the Finns say, kiitos. I say to you, kiitos paljon, baby. What was the sentence I was trying to remember? It starts with Aya. Aya what? That's the moment when I decided to make Finland my working station for studying and researching the Nordic countries. Not because they consume more ice cream per capita than any other nation in the European Union, or the most coffee per capita in the world, which keeps me happily drinking my big cups of coffee without receiving critical looks from T-Fox, but also because
Finland has perhaps the most heavy metal bands in the world.
Finland knows how to rock out, and I was all about it.
And also ranks high on good governance. I don't know that there's any correlation there.
I'm happy to confirm causality between heavy metal music and good governance. Though, not to upset our friend Michael Shermer, it is just a correlation. Also, my friends around the world keep saying that Finland has started to rank as the happiest country in the world ever since I moved there. But since we can't spot concrete causality there, let's just say it's correlated, guys. But thanks. But in all seriousness, there are some real causators why Finland is so happy. And I'm gonna reveal them all. Trust me, it's not just the coffee and ice cream with heavy metal music in the background. Although those help. Finland has got a whole lot of other things going for it that contribute to its happiness levels. Like Aya Hilia Sillallah. Yeah, that is the sentence I was trying to remember. I usually learn survival sentences like I'm hungry or social sentences like your house or mine. But that sentence was my first Finnish sentence to learn. It means drive slowly on the bridge. I didn't want to read first. I wanted to meet people who could answer hard questions and give me direct answers. The reading could come later. I created lists of people, collected their contact info, and sent customized invitations to meet, expecting them to respond within a few days. I went off to spend those waiting days discovering Helsinki, riding one of those fat tires bikes I found in front of the hotel. The owner of the Monsters is a very nice guy. He welcomed me and never minded the cameras. The cameras. This is another elephant in the room. So let's deal with this quickly. I can't tell you everything about this, but I'm involved in another project with a very interesting guy who wanted to document my life during this project. I didn't mind, and it seemed that most of the fans I met with didn't either. I was shown the bikeable distances around Helsinki, and of course, some attractions. The guy had a purpose, not just a mission. Personally, I was more interested in getting lost every day and making it back to the hotel by train only after I was dead tired. Still, no replies to my invitations. Not even a simple, I received your message and I'll get back to you by this date or later. Give him time, man, and check your notifications. The 2 notifications I actually received were from 2 entrepreneurs from 2 different events that were on my schedule to attend. The first one requested that I look at an app that he was developing. The second was so intriguing that I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement and go through high security checks before I get to look at his proposal. I'm not an investor, so my offer for them to share leads and recommendations was rejected. So intriguing. I was so excited to meet them that I completely forgot to be angry about the replies I hadn't gotten yet. Anger is psychologically costly. Maybe it's time to hire someone to do the anger on my behalf. And I'm not that guy. I could be that guy. The first entrepreneur I met is a great example of how Finns communicate so well in a professional context. He had exactly 10 minutes. Ayman? Yes? Moi. My name is. This is my app. It will help you to offer and receive help through an active network of verified users. Safe, quick, and effective. Great. He generously invited me to visit his office in Tampere. Okay, so the Finns have a city called Tampere. And as things developed so negatively later on, as you will see, I needed to pay him that visit crucially. Meeting this guy unlocked the memory of my very first encounter with the Finnish genius. A decade ago, back in the US, the Gateway Arc in St. Louis, designed by the legendary Finnish architect Eero Saarinen, had completely captivated me. Ever since, gazing up at that monument, almost every single Finnish creation I've experienced has left that exact same profound impression. I biked for long hours, but I eventually got tired of biking. So the next day, I biked again, this time faster. I loved my monster. It's not really a monster. It's just a bike. A lovely one. And she loved me back. She wanted to take me places. I gave her my full attention, my strength, and followed her lead. Finally, some fans on my lists began to respond positively, asking questions about the purpose of my research, who are my sponsors. They liked that my project was independent, and we started to make it real, meaning scheduling actual meetings. Great! One of the people on my lists, when he showed up at my working station up on the high hill, turned out to be the same guy who gave me the keys to the Finnish sky. You know, leaving home horizontally has become so boring. I always wanted to leave home vertically and just fly. This guy, Normie, provided that. I think I had experienced life so poorly unnecessarily before starting to fly privately. I'd leave home with no intention of reaching a particular destination. I just wanted to be up in the Finnish air. I know some friends who had to parachute down into the sea in a funny incident once. I'm glad I don't have to do that. The pilots here are so great. They know how to land these choppers as skillfully as taking off. Hey, can we get closer to that building? Yes? Yes, that one. Can we land on it? No? I guess I need to learn how to jump then. When I decided to keep one of those helicopters at my disposal, the guy who was double-checking everything was the exact one I wanted to meet. And this is a big distinction. Mr. Normie wasn't the only passionate entrepreneur I met. The woman who helped me maintain a healthy posture was also the founder and owner of the physio school where I received my physical treatment. Meeting with Rico, Normie, and Tina might lead us to a romantic conclusion, one that is easy to jump to. That making money doing what you love is real and possible in Finland. But after years of meeting similar entrepreneurs and consulting on projects worth more than 8 billion euros, I can confirm with absolute certainty, in Finland, you can make money following your passion. As I was enjoying those tours on land and in the Finnish sky, more Finns continued to respond positively to my invitations. But there was something more than excitement in receiving those responses. There was a strange, likable sense of fear. It was the second entrepreneur who wanted to meet me, and they wanted to meet sooner. I don't like to be rushed, but the urgency they created tasted different. They didn't make me feel rushed. They got me intrigued. I met them. His name, or her name, is the real Deverell. And right then, I signed with them the most important contract in this thing we call life. You've seen me before, haven't you? Look at this guy. You think that guy is me? This is not me. You see that look on his face? This is the first time he was allowed to leave the lab where he was made and venture around Helsinki. I'm not that guy. This is the merit of my collaboration with the real Deverell. The real Deverell didn't just pitch me to take over their company. They pitched me to be its first and only customer. I was shown undeniable evidence of highly advanced cloning with extended consciousness. That person solved the human consciousness problem a long time ago. What that means is that Ayman and I are two bodies, one shared consciousness. The same person split across two physical forms. The only difference between us is that my current body will eventually die out. His body, or my body as Ayman, is indestructible. It will live for a very long time. The investment required a specific kind of capital that I was uniquely positioned to provide, along with access to certain resources at my disposal. In exchange, I was giving him this Ayman. It was a fair trade. I told you you wouldn't believe it, but I prefer to give you the absolute truth, even if you most probably won't appreciate it. Now, before you lose your mind, let's get back to a more plausible story of why we are here. I met with 100% of my first list of Finnish experts. You will hear about them and from them, not in this season, but in season 2 of the Finnish Experiment series. I originally had the impression that Finns were cold and distant, but I was completely wrong. Show Finns even a glimpse of a true purpose, and they instantly transform into the most motivated, warmest people of all. I experienced such memorable honeymoon phase with the people across Finland, a phase that surely ended horribly once the second stage of my research began. I left Ayman in Helsinki and traveled north, across the Arctic Circle, into Lapland. We weren't supposed to stay in the same place after our initial meeting in the lab, but this is exactly how I keep myself excited about this thing we call life. I break the rules, now and then. Ayman even took us a selfie. That was not supposed to happen. That wasn't allowed. But we just did it. Before I left Finland this time, I managed to lock in meetings with some of the people on my second list, aiming to return next winter. I left Finland? I left Finland. What is that? I always talk positively. I focus on where I'm headed, and my next destination is always the center of my universe. I'll reflect on that later. I was sitting in a chair in Neuchâtel, stewing over something, before I suddenly realized I had to catch my train to Flughafen Zurich, where my flight to Helsinki wouldn't wait for me. Procrastination can be applied to anger just as easily as anything else, right? When I arrived in Helsinki this time, it was a monumental day. The Finns had just elected their new prime minister, a woman. She must have been absolutely exhausted that she sent her teenage spokesperson to accept the chair and greet the voters. The girl looked nice. Are we gonna see a smile? No? Okay, I keep watching you. I want to see your smile. They must be making good use of the youth here in this country. Good for you, Finland. After spending an hour alternating between the sauna heat and ice-cold showers, I found my luggage waiting for me, just 2 hours after landing. Usually it takes the airport security a couple of days to thoroughly examine the unusual contents of my luggage. I plan to enjoy Christmas and by the end of January begin my meetings. It was going to be an exhausting process for both my guests and me.
The world is full of data. The 99.99999% of it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
A small percent is relevant. And the small percent that's relevant depends on our outcome.
I needed all my attention to capture
Knowledge plus experience equals understanding.
encode,
Understanding plus more experiences of a wide variety of situations is wisdom.
replicate, and document Finnish expertise on multiple levels.
So the real goal is wisdom.
Sharing that wasn't on my plan. I wanted to do that strictly for my own understanding.
I can transfer my knowledge. I can't transfer my understanding.
It was purely to boost my own work. In other words, you weren't even on my mind at that point. And I'm not about to apologize for it. If you don't wish and are dying to know how the most advanced societies in the world function and benefit from that personally, then go do something better with your time. Maybe deprive yourself of sleep, watching countless hours of recipes that you will never cook. I think I need to work more on the melody and pick more polite lyrics. As a general rule for professionals, seeing people comes first and reading comes second. But just right before the very first meeting, a visitor from Wuhan completely dismantled the 40+ meetings I had painstakingly scheduled with the Finns. It was as if the Finns were waiting for that exact COVID moment. In one day, in one fucking day, all the meetings were postponed indefinitely. You know that word indefinitely? It means cancelled. It was like the Finns had conspired to ruin my plans. They wanted time to figure out how to deal with the new situation, which left me wondering how exactly to apply procrastination to my anger in a situation like this. I didn't know what to do or where to go.
Go to Lapland.
I went. Anyway, I missed my little chopper. And she missed me too. She was waiting for me on the tarmac, ready to take me places. In most other countries, the farther you travel from the capital center, the more you lose access to basic services. But Lapland is just like Helsinki. Safe, technologically advanced, and arguably more beautiful. I originally had the impression that Lapland in the dead of winter would be fatally cold. Completely over-prepared my wardrobe. Even inside the heated cottage, I stayed fully bundled up. But seriously, why? It doesn't feel nearly as cold as it looks. I was wrong. Wrapped in all these layers, I started to feel the only sensations I never expected. Hot. I gave up the winter gear, cracked open my books, and finally started my readings, which I didn't want to do first, remember? When I got tired, I did something truly useful. I slept. I slept a deep sleep, delicious lappy sleep. Have you ever been aware that you are dreaming only to wake up to find that you couldn't go back to sleep? Once asleep, I dream. Once in a dream, I become aware of it. And once I'm aware, I step outside of it and immediately wake up. The trick to staying asleep when you realize that you are dreaming is to hold on to that awareness. I know I'm dreaming right now. I also know that you are watching my dream on a screen. But what I'm seeing right now is scary. It's a dream of unlived memories. Something you will never experience. When I'm lucid dreaming, I don't leave the first position. So why am I in the second position? Focus, Ayman. You're in all positions. Oh. I don't like that. I wanna wake up.
It's impossible.
Why is she shouting at me? You don't remember what you said to her? No, I don't remember. That's because you're trying to remember while focusing on your past. Look in the opposite direction. Your memories from the future. How do I remember something that hasn't happened yet? You're in the ultimate position. You can see it all now. Whatever you imagine exists. Whatever you see annihilated gets pushed outside your creation, into the realm where your creation is expanding. How do you know all that? You still don't get it, do you? Can I wake up now? You don't have a body to wake up in. I can't process all this. I need an exit. You still think going back to your body is an exit? You're not helping. I can see my body was in a cabin. I need to find my way back there. She told you it's impossible. Why? But wait, I think she told you that, not me, right? You're starting to get it now. But what you refuse to get is this. To go back to your body, you need to go to 2020, and you are 82 years away from it. What? That's impossible. Don't ask what. Ask why. But don't you worry, the impossible takes a little longer. What are we doing here? Sorry, why are we here? We are in 1938 collecting mustaches. What? Sorry, why? Oh, for God's sake. Now you're asking why. It was going smoothly. But then you asked her the question, why in the hell did you do that? What did I ask? It's not the what, it's the why did you ask. Now, you just wait until you ask it. And when I woke up, I ran. Partly to burn off the obscene amounts of ice cream I had eaten the month before while trying to convince the Finns to meet me online. But I was running for another reason. A reason you don't need to know. Stay curious about what matters and why you are here. As for Ayman, he stayed behind in Helsinki, doing some literary commentary and handling a few other tasks. It was the kind of work I always wanted to do back then when I didn't have enough bodies. But now, since I exist through Ayman, the things I gave up on have a chance to actually get done. My initial impression of Lapland mirrored my first impression of Helsinki. A distant, empty, frozen destination that nobody even knew existed. I was wrong. Wrong. In restaurants, coffee shops, stores, and just wandering around Lapland and other corners of Finland, I kept crossing paths with world-famous figures just casually hanging out. I'll mention a few since they made their visits public. There was Richard Branson and his family. The guy is an absolute hero of mine. Steve Vai was in Tampere recording a new piece with the Finnish orchestra. Sting was around. And so was Gary Kasparov. I don't actually know if Kasparov lives in Finland, but I've spotted the guy several times across the country. And then there is the only man in history who won an argument against a woman. A few hours after finishing his job, he showed up in Helsinki just singing and entertaining crowds. Mr. Cristiano Ronaldo was there, too, and did some dips. Really nice guy. A humble legend. Mr. Joe Satriani rocked it, as always. If all you take away from all this is that Finland is simply a lovely tourist spot and these names are the proof, you are completely wrong. Wrong? Absolutely. What he's trying to tell you is that people, including the mega celebrities we mentioned and ones we haven't, come to Finland because it is the only place on earth where they can feel like normal. Insignificant people, like the ghosts you pass by at train stations and bus stops who never get a second look. And those super famous folks don't feel that way because they aren't recognized in this part of the world. No, it's because the Finns, oh my god, they know exactly who you are, they just don't react, they ignore you. Not to exaggerate, but I think the single celebrity who received the most intense reaction from Finns when he was spotted was a fellow visual artist, Mr. Brad Pitt. Now, the guy is mostly known for his iconic history as an actor and producer in other parts of Europe. Just weeks before arriving in Finland, he would have been stalked savagely by fans and media alike. So when he made his debut international art exhibition at the Tampere Art Museum, he must have experienced something he hadn't felt since a previous life. Absolute peace. Nobody was crowding him, screaming at the top of their lungs.
I usually get, "What's in the box?"
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
He flew in privately with Nick Cave and the great Dutch visual artist Thomas Huizinga to exhibit their collections, completely enjoying himself without any unwanted attention from strangers.
It's been so nice for us to be here. We've been having such a beautiful, beautiful stay. We've got a great spot on the lake, and we've got the fire going at night, and it just feels really, really special for us. It's been like a refuge in some way.
When locals recognized him, they didn't even look twice. The absolute peak of Finnish intensity was a polite wave. Is that you, Brad? Yeah, okay. Bye-bye. His buddy, Mr. Ocean, would have received similar attention, but he came to a business forum. And in a business forum like this, business mentors like myself get all the attention. So once he left the stage, nobody cared. But I cared. I took these pictures. And it was a happy experience to see you, Mr. George. For real. Just for you to visualize this. This is Kasparov and Sting in Times Square versus Helsinki. There is a profound catharsis in this realization. As I watch Roger Waters walking back to his hotel completely unbothered after a massive stadium show in Helsinki, he walked among the crowds like he was just one of them. I saw the exact same thing happen with Metallica. I finally realized that the Finns aren't being rude or ignoring people. I had the wrong impression. They just mind their own business and leave you safe in your space to mind yours. What was I thinking? Even Finnish wild animals give you that safe space. I mean, look at this bear. It didn't even want to eat me. Eventually, I knew I needed to return to Helsinki to get my business circle intersected again with the business circle of the Finns I wanted to meet. After the horrible things I said when they postponed my meeting with them because of COVID, I wonder how. I got back to Helsinki after the lockdown was lifted, but I didn't just return because the restrictions were over. I went back because something happened that completely reignited my excitement for the whole Finnish experiment. Remember that girl? The one I thought was just some teenage spokesperson sent out because maybe the actual prime minister was too exhausted to greet the voters? Turned out, she was the prime minister, a 34-year-old prime minister of a country that is big in everything that actually matters, and a woman. First step in correcting things. Getting rid of my primitive look. I stayed hidden away in Lapland long enough to devolve into a caveman. I desperately needed to see my hairdresser. She was genuinely surprised I even showed up, especially after all the appointments I'd missed and completely forgotten to cancel. But as I sat there, it was like I was seeing her for the very first time. I started connecting the dots. This woman is a visual artist, a family woman, and a businesswoman. She isn't just an artist when it comes to making me and others look sharp. She's an actual artist, self-actualized in every way possible. Her full potential is being reached as it is expanding. Sitting back in her salon chair, transforming back into the civil-looking man I used to be, made me piece a larger puzzle together. The new prime minister, her entire coalition led strictly by women.
If that group of leaders from Finland met with the US leaders, it's going to look like they're visiting their parents in an old age home.
You would think women completely dominate this country, and you would be right to think so. But wait until you find out the actual truth. Leaving her salon made me think of you. Yeah, you. I wanted you to have more than just a fleeting glimpse of what I'm uncovering out here in Finland. Now, these people who are currently filming me, again, I didn't hire them. They were brought in by a business partner who also happens to be my mentor. But to pull this off, I needed my own team. So I traveled to Tampere to meet with the man who could help me build it. He patiently broke down the blueprint for how to attract elite creatives, assistants, collaborators, camera operators, consultants, and top-tier video editors. More than just staff, individuals who would later become genuine friends. They visited my station, I visited their homes, and they truly made me feel at home. That's why when my scheduled meetings were suddenly cancelled due to the lockdown, what I felt wasn't just a professional loss regarding my research. It was the sudden fracturing of a connection that had started so warm, only to instantly turn freezing cold. But don't worry, Finland will pay the price for that, as you will see. The people I had the absolute privilege of dealing with don't just have endless free time on their hands. Take the team I built. He is an engineer, a musician, a family man, and a dedicated hobbyist. She is a musician, a mother, a visual artist, and a brilliant video editor. Both hold themselves to lethal standards of staying healthy, fit, and operating at a peak mental and physical energy. Let me tell you, running a professional and personal life at that level of absolute discipline makes a person extraordinarily busy. And yet, they still stepped up to help. The man in Tampere explained to me that the secret to motivating Finns is deceptively simple. Just show them a clear purpose and a well-defined task. Not an overblown, exaggerated purpose. Just a simple and honest one. My pitch was straightforward. I want your help in transforming what I've learned about Finland into a definitive documentary series that will be available to watch entirely for free, with multiple translations. That is the purpose. A task, on the other hand, is completely concrete. From researching a highly specific topic to answering a precise set of questions, or operating a camera for exactly 4 hours on a specific day at a specific address, or simply, I'm away from home and I need someone to water my plants twice a week while I'm gone. In a matter of hours, with this guy's guidance, I connected with the network of exceptional people, and just like that, I had a team. However, there was an unexpected problem. I didn't have a customer service number to call when the name of the problem was Ayman. Remember him? I left him in Helsinki to help me with some stuff, and he really did well at first. But then, he started to become weirdly independent. He started setting goals of his own. Maybe goals that would have been mine if I had his abilities. I don't know. I'm still new to this experiment and this entire experience. The literary commentary I asked them to do was filled with such dark sarcasm, bordering on harassment, treating the authors with utter carelessness. But that's okay. So far, I've only published one of those. What was worrying that even though he did well in all the tests, meeting people who know me intimately, none of whom ever suspected a thing, he was uncomfortably doubted by a Finnish woman, a psychologist. In all previous tests, he had only been sent to meet with men. His meeting with Vella in the heart of Helsinki went great. It was his first day out of the lab. His meeting with the musician who wrote the score for episode 2 of this series, Mr. Fathi Salama, and Mr. Ambassador Pekka Kosonen, was fantastic. Especially, he needed to travel to Cairo for that meeting using my passport. He even continued some of my online discussions with Dr. Robert Sapolsky and Alain Cardon perfectly. I felt confident enough to let him conduct a few public sessions while I slipped off to Southern Europe to get a tan. But when I asked him to take over the discussion for the later segments of this series, a conversation I had started a week before with Åse Fagerlund, she realized at first sight that something was wrong. She knows she'd be wrong to think that I'm not you, but I see a region in her brain creating a safe space for a thought that will expose me.
We'll try to look normal.
Please do something.
Just figure it out. I'm at a different time in a different place now. I can't help you. You're the one who's supposed to be helping me, not the other way around.
Okay, that region in her brain just took over. It reframed the thought that I'm not you as smart, not weird. It just took over her entire vocal system. She can't help herself now. She's going to say, look, I'll give her an exit by not engaging. I'll act as if I heard nothing. And she said nothing. It worked, momentarily. She couldn't find anything physically strange about me, but she would continue examining me until the very end of the session. She did. Åse, we want to tell you that you are a dear, highly valued expert and guest in this series, and you were absolutely right to doubt that it was me when you met with Ayman. I publicly apologize for that. I also want to apologize to Rico for not getting his fat bike on time, and to that person who left Ayman that nice note on the bike when he parked in his private garage. We still don't quite understand what that note means, but we've kept it as a souvenir. Since that incident with Åse, letting Ayman meet with women who know me has become a total no-go. Even at public events, former female clients of mine were caught on camera looking doubtful. Because of this, I handled all subsequent sessions with women myself, without any help from him on set. But there was a problem. The problem wasn't my tan. As you can see, my tan was perfect. The problem was this.
Oh my God, that was a tough question.
The experts who were invited to the thinking sessions were given the topics, not the questions. They came super prepared. Considering where I'm coming from, one of them generously offered to share her thoughts and listen to her.
تكلم مصري ولا فصحى ولا إيه؟
تكلمي مصري.
مصري, okay.
Tina, so we are going to warm up with some questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No.
I like that. Most of them didn't need any media guidance.
فرجت في الكاميرا ولا عيونك أنت؟
عيوني.
Okay.
And all of them were cooperative in making these sessions work. First, I asked a silly question, as if I didn't know them.
Okay, اسمك إيه وبتعملي إيه؟
أنا اسمي Anne Kolehmainen.
My name is John Simon.
My name is Päivi Montgomery.
My name's Patrick Kabanda.
My full name is Emilia Rosa Sekinen.
Yeah.
And that is a Finnish name.
I'm Ilkka Taipale.
My name is Terhi Talvela. I am Tiina Lehmuskoski and I'm a business owner.
I'm a development specialist working in the Ministry for Foreign Affairs of Finland in the Department of Africa and the Middle East.
And I am a yoga teacher.
I'm a former chief doctor of the biggest mental hospital and a former member of parliament. Now I'm at pension, but that means I'm more active than ever.
My name is Pyry Kanerva. I'm a student of engineering, physics and mathematics at Aalto University.
I'm moving very soon to live in East Jerusalem and work in Ramallah.
وأنا بشتغل كموظفة في مكافحة العنصرية في تعليم أو النظام التعليمي في فنلندا بشكل عام.
I am a musician and I'm interested in writing and architecture and many other things which involve arts and culture and creativity.
I'm a psychologist and I have been working for 20 years as a career coach and a recruiter for about 10 years.
I have worked for 40 years for Kone Corporation in Helsinki. I'm now officially retired.
Then I asked some confusing questions that were thought of on the spot.
Your name is Päivi Montgomery. Where did you get this Montgomery name from?
I like that.
Yeah, that's a beautiful question.
Warming up was over. It was time to drop some serious stuff, and everyone gradually grew exhausted.
Let's go then for the more serious.
Getting me started on my favorite topics, Finland, speaking, and we're going to be here all day, man. What is wrong with you?
So deep questions.
Are you crazy?
It's always a good question.
This is hard part.
بتتدخلي ازاي؟ يعني وظيفتك بتسمح لك تتدخلي ازاي؟ ايه المشكلة اللي بتحليها بالظبط؟ اديني مثال على ده.
I found the way you formulated the question quite interesting.
So I do comms. I operate as a private trader doing content and copywriting and SEO and all of that.
I have great answer.
I love it.
This is actually a very important question.
Can you ask me the question again?
طب قول تاني كده.
It's getting hard.
That is a good and at the same time very difficult question.
Stop a little bit. I have to think.
This was the hardest question, I have to say.
If I understand the question correctly.
Well, it's a hard question.
This is a fairly complex question.
It's very hard.
بحس إن أنا تعبت.
I'm not sure if I can do those.
I don't like to answer questions like that.
That was quite terrible.
What?
Questions are so hard.
ايه هي؟
أنا محتاجة.
نفسك.
اتنين برانا عشان أجاوب ده.
Burana is the only Finnish panacea I encountered in this country, and it definitely didn't help when the questions got so deep.
This was also hard.
You're asking hard questions, man. You're killing me.
ممكن تكلميني عن نتيجة حققتيها.
ممكن نعمل بريك.
My ancestors were the ones who invented brakes. We've built the wonders we built by taking decent breaks. Remember? The impossible gets a little longer. So I took all kinds of breaks seriously. The let's break our backs pretending to have an ab break. The sharing experiences break.
I think Porvo doesn't get enough love.
I love Porvo.
I love Porvo too.
I really love Egypt.
Yeah.
No, yes, that's true.
The listening to Maya's music break. The sharing dirty jokes break. The mastering the headstand break.
The first hand down, yeah. Now, this is much better. Tripod, open your fingers. More. Yes, that's more like it. And now butt up and walk your feet closer. Yes, now bring the knees in. Lean on your triceps. There you go, I told you can do it. And now really gently, start pushing your heels up. Oh yeah, that's it, that's it. Much better and control. Yes, and flex those ankles. Sorry, I'm shouting. I got excited. That's it. So much better. And now you can straddle your legs open. Be careful.
That was something. Then they're getting advice from Finnish people on what to do during a break.
Wait, I need to think about it for a second.
Definitely sauna.
I did the sauna. By the way, they call it sauna, not sauna. And this fox over there, he knows that. Yeah, he knows.
Goes in nature. And lakes. Lakes especially. Yes, lakes are very beautiful here.
I did the lakes in all seasons. Cruising, swimming. Walking and flying. I went for some adventures that I always consider exciting breaks. Yeah, live music. I don't understand the lyrics, but music is universal. When you unite with it, you are no longer the receiver. You're also the maker and the critic. The musical experience puts you in the ultimate position. Music takes you there gradually, second by second. Visual arts are frozen music. They take you there in no time. The click sound needs time to reach your ear, but your eyes have already seen everything before the click sound is even released.
Well, you should experience the city life.
Regardless of the enthusiasm, Mr. Starbucks came into the ring, fucked him over, and made sure his fist is buried well into the other guy's eye. I got out of the city life for the let's meet new people and test my hard questions on them break.
My name is John Smart Okafor. I'm from Nigeria.
That's a really good question.
Oh man. Oh, yeah.
That's really hard.
Oh, wow.
What else should I do on a break?
Do nothing right now, just chill.
If you want people to give you the answers that you want, ask them like questions. Questions that only make them remember. But if you want people to give you the answers that you need, ask them questions that make them think. And give them time, but expect insights and clues that will make your journey much easier. So, I kept my set of questions intact, but added more like questions. Then, the answers that an American president was looking for,
Who was that guy? I think it's Bill Clinton.
the ones that you and I need, started to come, bit by bit, and in good spirit. I thought, well, this lady, she hears her name mispronounced several times, so they go Tarja.
Yeah.
Why are you not correcting these people when they mispronounce your name?
Because I think that I have pronounced their names in many different wrong ways. Okay. And as long as I know that it's just me, Tarja Haronen, so it doesn't matter. I think that you have heard also the same with your name, and that's why I asked that whether it's Ayman.
Yes. Wonderful. I have two additional questions here, if you allow me.
No, please, yeah.
Okay, great. Does Mr. President Barack Obama pronounce it right?
I think that's quite all right.
Yeah.
Well,
The guy does his homework.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's dig deep to some serious stuff about Finland.
Okay, well, the first question is very different from the second one. So,
Okay, what was the question?
I have to check one. So let's do this part fast because I'm getting real cold.
I don't even remember what was in Finnish, our answer.
Okay.
You're gonna have to bleep me a lot.
Lost for words.
Oh my God.
When you ask a question, you get a real answer. I don't explain.
Okay, that's great.
We use less words, but those words actually mean something. Always.
My God, I mean, you were supposed to leave already. I mean, we're running out of time. What's wrong with you? I mean,
Eventually,
Thank you, Ayman. My pleasure.
My pleasure.
at the end,
It was also exciting.
Thank you so much, Jean. There we are. Yeah, looks good.
it was a great experience for everyone.
So this has been a great day and a different day as I have been interviewed by Ayman, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure's all mine.
Thank you. It's been fun and hope you like it too.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed her treatment and enjoyed so much discussing things about Finland and her business. And Tina is in general a great personality and a great human being.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we're done.
كويس أخيرا
مشكور جدا جدا جدا.
عفوا
Then President Obama landed in Helsinki to refuel, and it was a nice opportunity for us to ask him to welcome you to the Finnish experiment series in Finnish.
I'm going to try this as best as I can. Tervetuloa.
And the girls will tell you what that means.
Welcome to the Finnish experiment!
Thanks to the great coaches, Jenny, Anna, and Henrikka. And the series should have been available for you to watch in 2022. Little did I know, I had gotten answers that messed up the straightforward story of Finland I wanted to share with you. Please listen carefully to these opening statements of the shocking answers.
Finland was a third world country just 100 years ago.
A long, difficult period.
We Finns, and as a country or nation, we have been through quite a lot.
We've grown into a very civilized, very high-tech, very high standards of living country in that time.
People have had a very hard time here. They've had to survive in very difficult circumstances.
Now watch me ask the question I regretted asking.
You really want to know? I guess you guys want to know.
I sound as if I waited 82 years to ask Daria this question. It's unbelievable that nations become only prosperous when they face fatal crisis. So my question is very simple. In your perspective, what was the crisis that Finland had to face? What is it? I had decided to edit out all these answers and keep the Finnish experiment an inspiring and entertaining story. Until I met with a philosopher in the Swiss Alps who worked with us to keep everything. He was supposed to appear in an episode to enlighten you about stuff that had never been shared publicly at that level before, but he changed his mind. And while I refused Ayman's suggestion to kidnap him, the philosopher asked the spokesperson to do the job. We accepted that.
This is a scary vision.
Je kunt meer te weten komen over de onderwerpen uit deze aflevering in de aanvullende video's op dit kanaal. Je krijgt diepgaande inzichten in de complottheorie dat Finland helemaal niet bestaat, plus een uitgebreide blik op hoe meneer Ayman werd gekloond en biologisch uitgebreid tot meneer Iman. En mocht je denken dat ik nu Nederlands spreek, dat klopt. Want er komt een compleet seizoen aan dat volledig in het teken staat van Nederland. Waardeer je deze onafhankelijke serie en wil je meer zien? Steun ons dan door deze video te liken, te delen met je netwerk en je te abonneren op ons kanaal. Je kunt ook de links in de beschrijving hieronder bekijken om dit project financieel te ondersteunen. Jouw bijdrage helpt ons om dit authentieke werk te blijven produceren en delen. Tot slot, mis de aankondiging in aflevering 2 niet over een exclusieve mastermind waar je je samen met Ayman bij kunt aansluiten. De volgende aflevering is getiteld Crises are the Cradle of Nations. Tot volgende week.